Hello the Chelsea fan. Welcome to Chelsea Sports Focus, your home for in-depth analysis, behind-the-scenes updates, and every major story surrounding Chelsea Football Club. Breaking news: explosion symbol trophy. Jose Mourinho sparks Club World Cup storm. Calls Chelsea's glory only important for them while Cole Palmer stands tall amid controversy. Large blue circle fire. Chelsea fans may still be basking in the afterglow of their history-making FIFA Club World Cup triumph, but not everyone in the football world is raising a toast to their achievement. Legendary manager and former Chelsea boss Jose Mourinho has weighed in with a sharp and controversial take, and it's causing major ripples across Europe. The Blues stunned the world with their dominant 3-0 victory over Paris Saint-Germain in the final of the newly expanded FIFA Club World Cup, cementing their place in history as the tournament's inaugural champions. Having already swept past Benfica, Palmeiras, and Fluminense in the knockout rounds, Chelsea's comprehensive win over the French champions in the final was hailed by many as a defining moment of Enzo Maresca's tenure. But not by Mourinho. Speaking to Portuguese outlet Canal 11, the current Fenerbahce manager downplayed the entire tournament, likening it to little more than a glorified training session in the United States. This Club World Cup also highlighted a kid who had a great season at Chelsea, Cole Palmer, Mourinho acknowledged. But this run to the semi-finals reminded me every time I went to the United States for pre-season with Real Madrid and Inter. It reminded me of those games we played there. It was a brutal comparison, and one that hit particularly hard among the Chelsea faithful. Coming from a man who once stood at the helm of the club and brought home Premier League glory, Mourinho's words felt less like critique and more like betrayal. His insinuation? That Chelsea's hard-fought triumph had little to no weight in the broader footballing landscape. "I think this Club World Cup title is only important for Chelsea," Mourinho added with characteristic bluntness. "They'll sell a lot of jerseys with the logo on there. That's all." That last jab cut deep. While the Blues celebrated lifting what they see as a significant global trophy, Mourinho painted the tournament as a marketing opportunity, one that, in his eyes, holds no real merit beyond Stamford Bridge. Enzo Maresca responds with conviction. Chelsea's manager, Enzo Maresca, offered a very different perspective post-victory. The Italian coach, who has swiftly won over fans with his tactical acumen and bold decisions, spoke with pride and determination after leading the Blues to the historic win. "I think it will become as important as the Champions League," he said. "And we value it as much as winning the Champions League." This wasn't a meaningless summer exhibition to Maresca. It was the birth of a new era, a symbol that Chelsea could compete with Europe's and South America's finest, and win. Cole Palmer, a star is born. At the heart of Chelsea's tournament success was none other than Cole Palmer. The former Manchester City talent has blossomed into a bona fide star at Stamford Bridge, with the Club World Cup serving as his global coming-out party. His goals, assists, and commanding presence on the pitch throughout the competition elevated his status to that of Chelsea's golden boy. And while Mourinho's comments attempted to diminish the tournament's value, he couldn't help but acknowledge Palmer's brilliance. Cole Palmer had a great season at Chelsea, Mourinho admitted, one of the few positive notes in his otherwise dismissive critique. Palmer's growth mirrors the overall trajectory of Chelsea's project under Maresca, young, ambitious, and unafraid to challenge established giants. To them, the Club World Cup was not a marketing stunt. It was a proving ground. The PSG debate, who's the real winner? In Mourinho's eyes, the season's true champions weren't Chelsea, but PSG. Despite falling to the Blues in the Club World Cup final, the French giants achieved the pinnacle of European football by lifting the UEFA Champions League, their first in the club's history. And they didn't just win it, they dominated. Mourinho referred to PSG's continental conquest as the defining moment of the season, especially given that they managed it after losing their talisman Kylian Mbappé to Real Madrid. "I think PSG was the big winner this season," he said. "Not because of what they did domestically, because they always win domestically, but winning the Champions League in the way they did, especially after losing their best player." Under Luis Enrique, PSG stormed to a treble and etched their name into the annals of football history. And Mourinho wasn't wrong. Their 6-1 demolition of Manchester City in the Champions League final set a new record for the largest margin of victory in that competition's final. Still, Mourinho's comments felt unnecessarily pointed, especially considering Chelsea's performance against the same PSG side just days later. Mixed reactions across the football world. While Mourinho sparked one of the loudest criticisms, he wasn't alone. Jurgen Klopp also voiced concerns about the Club World Cup, questioning its format and the inclusion of clubs like Auckland City, whose squad includes several semi-professional players. Attendance figures at some matches also left much to be desired, and scheduling challenges led to complaints from several top European sides, notably Barcelona and Liverpool, who chose not to participate. However, Chelsea's own Levi Colwill pushed back against the cynicism. "This is the biggest trophy I've ever won," he said. "I think the Club World Cup will be bigger than the Champions League and we were the first team to win it." That sentiment echoed throughout Chelsea's dressing room. To them, the Club World Cup was not a sideshow, it was the beginning of something monumental. What comes next for Chelsea? Now, with silverware in their hands and criticism swirling outside their camp, Chelsea stand at a crossroads. Will they let the outside noise distract them from their project, or will they use this moment as fuel for further dominance? With the transfer window in full swing and fresh links to Kenan Yildiz, Xavi Simons, and Jorel Hato making headlines, the Blues are clearly not content with just one trophy. They are building for the future, and laying bricks with boldness. The world may not yet agree on the Club World Cup's importance. But one thing is certain, Chelsea made history, and history doesn't ask for permission to be remembered. While the dust from Chelsea's historic Club World Cup win had barely settled, the narrative quickly shifted from celebration to controversy. The reason? None other than former Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho, a man never afraid to stir the pot. His comments, broadcasted widely across European media, weren't just casual observations, they felt like deliberate jabs at Chelsea's latest international accomplishment. Mourinho, now in charge of Turkish giants Fenerbahce, dismissed the Club World Cup's prestige, labeling it a tournament that held meaning only for Chelsea and suggesting it lacked competitive credibility. His comparison to pre-season tours in the US struck a nerve, not just among Chelsea fans, but even among players and pundits who had praised the tournament's evolution under FIFA's new structure. Yet inside the Chelsea camp, the response to Mourinho's comments was starkly different. Head coach Enzo Maresca didn't waste time firing back, not with his words, but by reinforcing the significance of the tournament during post-match interviews and training ground reflections. The Italian boss doubled down on his earlier remarks, reiterating that history remembers winners, not doubters, and emphasizing how the competition offered a new frontier for international club dominance. One player who resonated deeply with this sentiment was Cole Palmer, the standout performer throughout the tournament. With goals and assists in every game, including a crucial brace in the final against PSG, Palmer proved he wasn't just a young talent riding momentum, he was leading the charge. After Mourinho's jibe surfaced, Palmer was reportedly disappointed but not surprised. Inside sources revealed he felt Mourinho's comments were out of step with football's modern evolution, especially for a man who once thrived on winning every trophy available. Privately, Maresca and Palmer spoke at Cobham the day after the final. "Ignore the noise," Maresca told him. "Legends aren't defined by critics, they're defined by medals." Palmer nodded, his eyes fixated on the Club World Cup trophy now standing tall in the hallway of Chelsea's training ground. In the following days, several key figures within Chelsea's hierarchy took subtle digs back at Mourinho's dismissal of the trophy's worth. Sporting director Lawrence Stewart posted a cryptic message on social media: "Some trophies come with silver. Others come with envy." Fans immediately connected it to Mourinho's remarks. Meanwhile, young defender Levi Colwill, who had played a pivotal role in Chelsea's defensive resilience during the tournament, didn't mince his words either. "It's the biggest trophy I've ever won. Full stop. I don't care if people think it's only the Club World Cup. We made history. People will remember this team. Not the critics." Chelsea's fanbase, known for their loyalty and fervor, rallied behind their club. Social media lit up with comparisons between Chelsea's current squad and Mourinho's best Blues lineups, especially the title-winning sides of 2005 and 2015. The conclusion for many was simple: Mourinho might have built the old empire, but he no longer ruled the kingdom. Back in Italy, Juventus coach Thiago Motta also weighed in, calling Mourinho's comments a disservice to clubs working hard to compete globally. And PSG's Luis Enrique, while gracious in defeat, praised Chelsea's performance: "They beat us fair and square. We've played Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern, and Chelsea was right up there." Interestingly, as this storm of opinion and loyalty unfolded, UEFA and FIFA quietly began floating plans for even more emphasis on international club competitions, including potential expansion of the Intercontinental Cup and increased prize money for future Club World Cup editions. A source inside FIFA even stated, "What Chelsea have done is just the beginning. This tournament will soon rival the Champions League." The final word, however, might belong to history. Chelsea, under Enzo Maresca, are now not just Premier League challengers, but world champions in name. Whether Mourinho or others like it or not, Chelsea's victory is now etched in the record books. And for players like Palmer, Colwill, Gittins, and the rest, it's a triumph that marks the start of what they believe will be a new Chelsea dynasty.